Thank you very much for coming. Sunday is always a difficult time to come in. I know you'd rather be on the beach, such a beautiful weather, but unfortunately, we have to do something constructive before they can feed you for the welcome reception. So it's a pleasure to be here. And so on behalf of Professor Brown Tibor, who is the editor-in-chief of the Journal of Nuclear Chemistry, who couldn't be here, I will present a slight introduction and history to George Hevesy Medal for about 10 minutes. So this is the photo of the George Hevesy Medal, the first one, and is the premier international award for excellence in radiochemistry and nuclear analytical chemistry. Is given to individuals as opposed to a group for the achievements in nuclear analytical chemistry, in particular to applications to nuclear analytical chemistry. Guidelines and calls are circulated to about 1,200 people and also through various organizations like MARC, NAMLS, MTA, NAMLS IC, and my own list, and also it is published in the JRMC. And this is the back side of it. Hevesy Medal is sponsored by the JRMC, and it is adjudicated, that means selected by the International Committee on Activation Analysis. The medal is composed of an engraved medal, as you will see, and also a scroll. That's what it looks like. It was originally started by Professor Brown in 1968. These are all the titles of his, and it was from 1968. It was given almost every year until 1986 to the distinguished scientists from all over the world. And then he reactivated. Professor Brown reactivated the award in 2000 again, and the first one was given in Hawaii, in MARC conference, just not Hawaii. So here are the names of some of the award winners. Dr. Wayne Mankey, Albert Smells, Ivan Pavlovich Almarin, Philip Alvear, Julian Hoste, Tibor Brown, and Tolgesi, Franco Girardi, Sylvia Emil, and Dick Winardi, Bob Jervis, Vince Guin, Dale Lyon, Max Pacer, Garman Harperful, and Edward Sayer, George Ansel, Nobuo Suzuki, Emil Schweikert, Franz Dicot, myself and Elif Steines, Enrico Sabioni, Jeroen Dicui, Attila Vartesh, and in 2005, Chai Chifan, Gregory Chopin, Nicolas Piro, Ion Kuchera, Bob Gilbert, Syed Kain, Dick Lindstrom, Darlene Hoffman, and the last one at MT11 was Peter Bode. And many of the Hevesy Award winners are here. As I said, the Hevesy Medal is adjudicated by the ICA, so we have the responsibility for selecting a Hevesy Medal Award selection panel. So 22-hour selection panel consisted of Tibor Brown, myself, Chai Chifang, Sue Clark, Sam Glover, Ion John, and Nicolas Piro. And we were asked to evaluate 3 distinguished scientists from all over the world. Now this year's awardee is nominated by Vladimir Kolotov, and co-sponsored by Atsuo Suzuki and Darlene Hoffman, in recognition of the awardees' outstanding contributions in the field of radiochemistry, including fundamental research on chemical properties of actinides, particularly in the unusual oxidation states, and development of rapid separation methods for actinides and fission products, and nuclear waste management. Of course, you will hear more about these topics in his award lecture. So George Hevesy Medal Award is presented to Academician Professor Dr. Boris F. Nyasodov. So please join with me in congratulating Professor Nyasodov. It wanted this. So On behalf of the organizing committee of MARC, I would like to read the laudation for Professor Boris Myasotov. It will take a few minutes because his CV is enormous. I had enough difficulty in shortening it down, so please bear with me. Academician Professor Dr. Boris Myasotov was born in Russia. His scientific career started with the diploma work at the Vernatic Institutes of Geochemistry and Analytical Chemistry, Academy of Sciences, USSR. In 1953, he graduated from Mendeleev Moscow Chemical Technological University. In 1964, he received the Candidature of Science, which is equivalent to our PhD, on a thesis entitled Development of Methods for Separation and Determination of Protactinium from Uranium ores and their processing byproducts. Correct? I think so. It's translation from Russian to English, and my Russian is not that great. Okay. The monograph arising from the thesis, Analytical Chemistry of Protactinium, was awarded the Kolpina Prize by the USSR Academy of Sciences in the field of radiochemistry in 1975. During 1954 to 1960, Dr. Myasotov worked on the synthesis, isolation, and study of chemical properties of Einsteinium, fermium, nobelium in different media in Dubna under the guidance of famous I.V. Kurchatov and of course G.N. Flerov. Later on, he became the head of the group on the synthesis and properties of volatile compounds of beta diketones of americium, curium, berkelium, californium, mendelevium, and einsteinium using gas chromatography. In 1960, he became the project leader on chemical studies of protactinium related to problem of homogeneous thorium reactor. He went to the Radium Institute in Paris for training under Professor M. Hevesy, and their collaboration continued until 1972. Since 1969, Dr. Myasotov has been the head of the basic research on chemistry of trans-uranium elements. The research topics include investigations of chemical properties and stabilization of transuranics in unusual oxidation state. He was awarded Doctor of Sciences, DSc, in 1976 on the study of the properties of trans-plutonium elements in different redox states, novel separation and determination methods. In 1977, he became the professor in analytical chemistry. In 1986, Professor Myasotov was awarded the prestigious State Prize of the USSR for achievements in chemical behavior of the metals in unusual oxidation states. Professor Myasotov started many projects, including bidental neutral organophosphorus compounds for extraction of actinides from acidic solutions, leading to the discovery of aryl effect and so-called Russian technological scheme of extraction of trans-plutonium and rare earth elements using BNOC. This scheme has been successfully tested in the nuclear fuel reprocessing plant, MARC. Around the same time, he investigated the synthesis and properties of zirconium phosphate for the separation of americium, curium, californium, and berkelium. In the recent years, Professor Myasotov has been interested in the development of low waste and energy saving methods for spin. Hand is always a bad thing. Okay. And as well as in the development of the new technique for immobilizing the radionuclides in mineral-like matrices. He has been working for the last 30 years or so in radioecology for monitoring remediation of radionuclide contaminated territories in the vicinity of nuclear fuel cycle enterprises. Professor Myasotov and co-workers developed ingenious procedures for pre-concentration separation and determination of actinides and other radionuclides in bottom sediments, soils, and underground waters. It was found for the first time that in the regions of the Mayak Production Association and Siberian Chemical Plant, joint stock company, long-lived radionuclides migrated in the form of colloidal particles. This discovery allowed development of efficient measures against migration and filtration of radionuclides. Professor Myasotov and co-workers patented process for the production of radiopharmaceuticals based on highly purified 225 actinium for alpha particle therapy of tumors. Professor Myasotov has been the head of laboratory of radiochemistry at the Vernadsky Institute for more than 30 years. This laboratory is recognized as one of the leading centers in radiochemistry, analytical chemistry of radioactive elements, and radioecology. In 1994, Professor Myasudov has been elected as a full member of the Russian Academy of Sciences. The scientific achievements of Professor Myasudov and his colleagues have been reflected in more than 750 papers in Russian and international journals, 7 monographs, 10 patents and investor certificates, 6 DSc, 31 PhDs. He heads the leading scientific tool, actinide elements, properties, behavior in technologic and natural processes, which is funded by the Russian Federation President's Grant. Professor Myasudov successfully combines creative scientific activity with scientific organizational work. He is the editor-in-chief of Russian Radiochemistry, member of editorial board of Russian Journal of Analytical Chemistry, Mendeleev's Communication, and member of editorial boards of several journals, international journals, including Solvent Extraction and Ion Exchange, JRNC, Problems of Analytical Chemistry, etc. And he is also the chair of the Interdepartmental Scientific Committee Council on Radiochemistry at the Russian Academy of Sciences and the Rosatom, State Atomic Energy Corporation of the Russian Federation, Vice President of the National Committee of the Russian Chemists, and he has a lot of other duties. Professor Myasudov is a distinguished scientist, an acknowledged scientific leader in the field of radiochemistry, analytical chemistry, radioactive elements, and radioecology. It is indeed a pleasure to honor Professor Boris Myasudov with the Hevesy Medal Award 2012. Yeah, I invite Stephen and Sam to the table, please. Come on here. One on the left, one on the right. On behalf of Journal of Radiochemistry, may I have the honor to present to you the Hevesy Medal Award 2012.
Thank you.
Everybody got the whole thing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much again.
Thank you, Ethan. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, now I'd like to invite Professor Myasudov to deliver his award lecture.